raise your hand if you've ever tried a read through the Bible plan before in the past and given up halfway through because you got bored, because you didn't know what was going on, or it was too much reading. Well, I have a solution for you. Let's begin. Hello, beautiful people. Hi, guys, I'm so excited. So if you do not know, if you've not been here for a while, I've been reading through the Bible this past year, and my approach to doing this was just to follow the reading through the Bible plan that is in the back of my Bible. And it was decent. It was fine. It actually took me through the New Testament twice and the Psalms twice, which I didn't love, but I learned a lot, and it made me keep thinking, you know, I have this audience here. What if we did this together next year? And what if I created a plan that was like a lot better than this one that didn't bore me quite as much, one that kind of kept me in a lot of different interesting parts of the Bible that correlated together. And I looked at chronological Bible reading plans, but they kind of were everywhere in a way, and it was overwhelming almost. But I liked the general idea of chronological reading. So took all of those ideas, put them together, and I have made what I would like to call the best Bible reading plan that there is. Is that a little prideful? Is that a little bit too sure of myself? I don't know. I mean, we are reading the Bible. There are going to be parts where you're in the middle of Leviticus and you're like, get me out of here. But for the overall, I tried to take like, okay, while we're reading through Leviticus, let's go through John too, because John is gonna be a little bit more of like the understandable, the practical, and Leviticus is that background information that we need to know to understand God's law, but it's gonna bore us. It's gonna be dry. So that's what I did. And I purposely tried to pair specific books together that I thought would at times either complement each other or would rub up against each other, that would make me see the stark differences, like in, for example, Leviticus versus John. So here's the deal. This past year, I took the Bible knowledge commentary and I read through the Bible, and each day I tried to also read the entries in this commentary that also went with my reading for the day. This next year, I'm using this big volume commentary set, but I'm gonna be reading through the Bible again, just with a different commentary. And my goal for the next, like, I don't know, 3-ish years or more is to just work my way through different commentary sets, reading through the Bible, reading through the Bible, reading through the Bible. So I invite you to join me. Grab yourself. It could be this Bible knowledge commentary. It's short, it's cheaper because it's just 2 volumes and it's less to read. Dip your toes if you don't already have a commentary, or if you have a commentary set that's been sitting on your bookshelves that you've been wanting to read through, this might be the perfect time. And just start the new year with me reading through the Bible, and as much as possible, go through this commentary set. Now you might say, Faith, what if I can't keep up? You can make this a 2-year commitment. You can just take the readings that are assigned for each day and split it in half. That is very doable. Or I also have written into the plan, because I got very sick this past year and fell way behind on my schedule and had to like spend a day or 2 catching up. I've also written into the schedule, it's less than 365 days, so that if you fall behind, it's no big deal. No skin off your back. You have extra days anyway. In fact, I have the Bible reading plan right here. So it's just 270 days. I did this so I could take Sundays off, so I'd have about like 43 days on top of that to travel or get sick or sleep in or lose my Bible or something. Like, stuff happens. You got to give yourself grace. And that's why I'm calling this the Grace Bible reading plan. It gives you grace. You know, I wrote it in so that like I understand that we're going to get bored. We're going to lose track of the days. We're going to fall behind. And so there's grace. The point is I'm trying to equip you to go through the Bible with me this year, and it be like a really fruitful practice, and not be a practice that is going to bore you and you give up midway. Like, we want to do this and do this faithfully and like committed to it and not give up halfway through. I mean, who starts a New Year's resolution and wants to break it halfway through, right? So for example, I want to like hold your hand through this Bible study. So not only have I made a Bible reading plan, and I have written Bible study questions and prayer topics for each and every of those 270 days of the year. Now, it depends how much you want to invest in like your Bible reading plan for the year, but this would like hold your hand through every single day of the year. Like, ideally, this is what I would like to get out of this Bible study today, or this is ideally what I would like you to get out of the Bible study. I mean, I thought about like, what are you about to read tomorrow? So what do I want you thinking about today? I thought about like, do I want you just focusing on one of the passages or all the passages? Like, I way overthought. And so I just wrote this for you guys. I spent like hundreds of hours, and hopefully this will take you from not only just reading through the Bible, but also understanding it more and being guaranteed that you're going to walk away with something each and every day. So I'm just going to tell you from the beginning, it is about like a 3-ish chapter chapters a day, sometimes like 4-ish chapters a day that you'll read. And sometimes those chapters are short, sometimes they're long. When we're going through the more boring books like Numbers and Leviticus, and there's a lot of genealogies, I know it's gonna be challenging. So I just give you like, here's 3 chapters to read today. Just power through it, get the general ideas about each genealogy and move on. So I try and be mindful of like, I know not everybody has an hour to read every day, but do know that it is a commitment. Like you are gonna be reading like 3 to 4 chapters a day, but you're gonna have different assignments that keep you going, mostly chronological through the Bible and following general ideas. Like the first idea that we're working off of, we go through Genesis and Acts together. I know, you're starting the year with Genesis and Acts. Really interesting, right? But the idea that I start that reading section on is, who are we? So who are we created to be? Who are we like as a people? But then also, who are we as believers? So Acts, who are we today as the church? And we're working off of that idea as we read through Genesis and Acts. And then as we move into Exodus and is it Romans next? Then we're looking on a different idea. And then we move to Leviticus, and I think that's when we start John. We're going from different ideas of studying like, who are we? What is God's law? Who is Jesus? You know, so like you might be reading for 2 weeks this big section, and at least you know the main idea you're trying to get from this next 2 weeks is, who are we? Or you might be reading a big section and you're reading through like Exodus and Romans, and you know that like I'm supposed to be looking at God's promises and his faithfulness to his people. And you will see that in those 2 books. I give you hinters at themes. I give you hinters at like what you're supposed to be drawing from the ideas, but you're also not just only reading in Exodus. You're also not just stuck in Job for like 4 months. You've got at points larger chunks of reading, but then you've also got a chapter of a fun book to read like Romans. But I do encourage you, you are more likely to give up if you don't have that preset idea of like, okay, this is gonna be a lot of reading and I'm gonna have help with a commentary. So make sure you've got a commentary. If you click the link down below, I have the reading plan that you can download. But the point of why you should do this reading plan with me is because I will be making videos that correspond with this reading plan all year long. Now, it won't be every single week. There's not really a system I have in mind, but do know that while you and I are both reading through Leviticus, I will be making videos on Leviticus, or it will come up naturally in my videos because I did all this last year. So if you want to join me and download the reading plan for this next year, let me know that you're joining me and click the link down below to download the reading plan and check out all those other resources I already mentioned. But if you want to learn some tips on how to dig deeper right here, right now, check out this playlist here. Or if you guys would like to hear about what I've been learning in seminary and theology and all of that richness, check out this right here. And I will see you guys in these videos. Bye guys.